Wait a second, this people group is dying out, but have they ever heard about Jesus before? Do they have a Bible in their language? Are there even any believers? I was like, I wish that somehow I could be a part of getting the gospel to them. Hi, my name is Amanda and I work at Renew Outreach. A number of years ago when I was in college, I was like 18 or 19, and I randomly came across this website, and it's called Before They Pass Away. And it was this photographer who went around the world and was documenting these people groups, these little people groups that are dying out. And he was like recording things about their culture and taking these beautiful portrait pictures of them. And I was reading about them, reading about their cultures, looking at the pictures, and I was like, this is really heavy. These are cultures that are dying out because they're so little. And then of the dozen or so that I was reading about, there was one that stood out to me, and I couldn't really put my finger on why. And I started wondering, wait a second, this people group is dying out, but have they ever heard about Jesus before? Do they have a Bible in their language? Do they have a Jesus film? Are there even any believers? And so I did a little bit of research, and I found out that they had no Jesus film, they had no Bible, and they were virtually unreached, meaning that they either didn't have any believers in their people group or they had barely any. And I was gripped, and I had this ache in my heart for them. And I was like, God, would you send somebody to this part of the world? It was in South Asia. The region was called Mustang, which I thought was pronounced Mustang, like the horse. I was like, God, would you send someone to Mustang? Mustang. And so I just asked God that he would send somebody and that they wouldn't die away, never getting a chance to hear about Jesus. And then I had this wish in my heart. And I didn't even have enough faith to pray it. It just kind of stayed as a wish. And I was like, I wish that somehow I could be a part of getting the gospel to them. So I kind of forgot about it. Now and then I would think about that website, but a few years went by. I graduated from university, and I ended up joining the staff team at this missions organization. And there was this new initiative that was being started, and it was where we were strategically going after regions of the world to get the Bible there and share the gospel. And before I joined the team, before I moved, somebody from the team called me, and they were telling me more about what we were going to be doing and also the regions of the world that we were initially going to be focusing on. And of the 4 regions, one of them was this one called Mustang, and I was blown away. I was like, I have heard of this place. I have been praying for this place. What on earth? And I was shocked because I realized that this wish that I had, that this ache that I had, that they would know Jesus, I had no idea that that wasn't just my dream. I thought that was just my dream, but I didn't realize that actually that was a dream that came from the heart of God. And as I've walked with the Lord over time, I've realized that as we grow closer to Jesus in relationship with him, as we grow in prayer and grow in understanding his character through his word, there's things in our life that come into alignment with him. And there's actually dreams that come from the very heart of God that we have then because we've been walking with God. And so I also just was shocked because I was like, how on earth is it that in just 3 years, this dream that I had, I got to see the beginning of it being answered. And I recognized that 3 or 4 years can be a fast time to see an answer from God. Often it can take a lot longer than that. But moving forward, I know that he wants to do those things, and he wants the nations to know him far more than I ever could.